Today I'm going to talk about the Citi Rewards Card, which is a very popular points card that gives you 10 times points per dollar you spend. The only criteria is that you need to spend it on online transactions or fashion related spend, although there are ways to get it for nearly anything that you can buy offline as well. Right? More on that later. Points cards like the Citi Rewards Card tend to be associated with miles, and indeed the 10 times points earn rate is equivalent to 4 miles per dollar, which is one of the top tier rates you can get for mile cards these days. Although you can also take the 10 time points and redeem it for 2.27% cashback, or you can also redeem it for shopping vouchers at around 3% rebate equivalent. So it is not only meant for miles, contrary to what a lot of people think. If you are someone who are looking for a fast free card to put your spending on, and you might not want miles but you're okay with shopping vouchers, this card gives you 3% rebate in shopping vouchers. Now, if you want to sign up for this card, do check out the link in my description box because you can get very good promos when you sign up through my website, and you also keep me creating more content and videos like this. The Citi Rewards Card has a very standard $180 annual fee plus GST, although unlike many other mile cards, you do not get renewal miles when you pay this annual fee, so do take note of that. Although I have not had any trouble getting my annual fee waived all these years with Citi, so it is a non-issue. Just make sure you call in to ask for your annual fee waiver. Points earned on the Citi Rewards Card expire in 5-year blocks, which is a little different from other cards that earn points. Other cards, the points when they are earned have a 1 or 2 year validity date, whereas Citi Rewards has a very interesting mechanic where you start off with a 5-year block, and then all points earned in these 5 years will expire 3 months after the end of 5 years. Now, this is something that is both a pro and a con, because when you first get the card, all your points have a super long shelf life of 5 years, but towards the end of that 5-year window, you suddenly find that the points earned in the 5th year actually have very, very short shelf life for you to convert them into miles. So do take note of that, because there are people who actually forget that their 5 years are up and then they let their entire points stash expire. Ouch. The maximum amount you can spend to enjoy the 10 points earn rate would be $1,000 per statement month, and any spend beyond that only gets you 1 point per dollar, which is an extremely poor rate. So don't spend beyond $1,000 per statement month on this card. Although the Citi Rewards Card only gives you 10 time points on online transaction, people have found out that if you put it on Amaze and you use the Amaze card at offline retailers, you actually get 10 time points as well, because Amaze changes your transactions from offline to online ones. Now, there's no telling when Citibank will actually stop it, if ever, because DBS actually stopped this earlier this year, so we are not sure whether or not Citibank will follow suit. So far, so good. All these months, all transactions put through Amaze have gotten 10 time points, as long as it's not one of the excluded categories on the Citi Rewards terms and conditions. One of the best things I like about Citi Rewards is that it credits your bonus points when the transaction is posted, which can be a few days after you make your spend. And this is a lot faster than other cards, which sometimes give the bonus points as late as almost 2 months later. So this gives you a few advantages, because one, of course, you get your points early and you can use it to redeem for anything you like, or number two, you can also use it to spend on certain things that you're not sure whether or not will get you bonus points, and then you can get confirmation a few days later and make a bigger amount of spend more confidently. So Citi Rewards fast crediting of points take out the guesswork from whether or not a transaction is good for bonus points or not. Another good thing about Citi Rewards is that Citi pairs up with a lot of other airlines aside from Singapore Air, so you can redeem your points for miles with one of these airlines and not just be restricted to Singapore Air, like OCBC, which until recently only allowed you to convert your points for Singapore Air flights. There are also a whole bunch of hotels you can redeem your points for, although personally I will compare the price of each night's stay versus the amount of points I will redeem, and you try not to redeem at a valuation of less than 1 cent per mile. 2.5 thank you points equals to 1 mile, and therefore you should not trade 2.5 points for anything less than 1 cent of value. So if a hotel stay is $100, you should not spend more than 25,000 points. Yeah, I think my math checks out. Also, being a Citi card, you can use Citi Payor, which is Citibank's payment service that allows you to pay to things that don't normally accept credit cards using your Citi credit card. You have to pay a service fee, but in return you get rewards on your card. And there are times where Citi offers promotions that make this really worth it. For instance, a few months ago, there was one where you could buy miles from as low as 0.8 cents each by using this service. This promo seems to come back every now and then, so subscribe to my Telegram group to be updated when the promo comes back. One of the annoying things about Citibank points cards is that their points do not all go into the same account, and they each have their separate stash of points. And therefore, when you want to convert your points to airline miles, you have to spend $25 for each account of points you have with Citi. That's something really quite annoying because banks like UOB or DBS pool all the points together, so when you redeem your points, you just have to pay one conversion fee and you can redeem your entire stash of points into miles. But for Citi, you have to do it account by account, and therefore this can complicate things, especially because you require at least 25,000 points to redeem 10,000 miles. And therefore, if you have an account with, let's say, 20,000 points and another account with 5,000 points, you can't actually combine them to form 25,000 points for the minimum redemption of 10,000 miles. And another issue with the card is that it also excludes travel-related expenses, and therefore you will not be able to get 10 times points on things like hotels or flight bookings. And I think this is a very strange set of exclusion because these are transactions that can tend to earn us a lot of points. So you have to look at other cards for your travel expenditure. Another issue I have with this card is that I think the limit of $1,000 per month is on the lower side, because cards like DBS Women's World Mastercard has a capacity of $2,000 for its high earn rate, and UOB Visa Signature also has that same $2,000 capacity. So $1,000 these days I think can be easily exceeded, and it's not a very good card to use when you want to buy something like an iPhone which costs $2,000 these days. In the good old days, this card didn't have a monthly cap. Instead, it had an annual cap of $12,000, and that is quite similar to the OCBC Titanium Rewards, which means you can buy anything as long as it's under $12,000 a year, and you'll get 10 times points all at once. But that has changed a few years ago, and now here restricted to $1,000 per month for its 10 times points earn rate. Speaking of the good old days, who can forget the times where he actually gave 8 miles per dollar in a tie-up promotion with Apple. So basically anywhere you could Apple Pay, you could get 8 miles per dollar, which is an extremely high rate, twice of the current 4 miles per dollar we are seeing these days. So personally, I actually put $20,000 of spend on the card just to get the high earn rate. And people went crazier. I've heard of people buying cars, people putting their entire wedding banquet on the card. Those were really nice days. I earned 200,000 points just from that. Now, thanks for watching all the way to the end, and likes are appreciated and comments are loved. Do subscribe to my Telegram group because you can get useful updates on all things credit cards, personal finance, and other things that will enrich your financial life. Do watch all these videos that are popping out on your screen right now, and I'll see you next video.